Hi, this is Adam from Metal Wani, and we're here today with Tim Sult of the mighty, and I won't use that superlatively understated, I should say, Clutch. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. How are you?
It's great to see you here yet again.
Anytime anyone calls us the mighty Clutch, I feel like I should go to the gym more.
Well, I can do that too. They refer to me as mighty. Let's take a moment first to talk about Book of Bad Decisions, because I've not spoken to you since the release of that.
Okay.
It was a complete behemoth of an album for you guys.
Well, thank you.
It was a real spectacle to listen to. Tell us a little bit about how that came about in terms of the recording and in terms of Neil's lyrics. Mm-hmm. They're always quite interesting. There's some quite interesting points that are made on that album.
As far as the lyric side of Clutch goes, I'm as big of a fan and as, interested in what Neil does as our fans. So, from that point of view, I really, I get to hear the songs in two ways. I get to hear an instrumental version of the songs, and then I get to hear them really come to life with Neil's vocals, which is something I could never do or never even imagine doing. So, to me, the first time I hear a song with lyrics on it, I have the same feeling as the average Clutch fan has when they hear that song as well. What was the second part of that question? Book of Bad Decisions.
Book of Bad Decisions.
Book of Bad Decisions was a little bit of a different kind of process. We got together for a couple years and just threw around riffs at each other. And we probably had more musical ideas for Book of Bad Decisions than we had for any other album that we've ever done in the past. And we eventually whittled it down to 15 songs. And it's different a little bit in that we did not do a lot of pre-production for the album. Okay. We just wrote the songs together in our rehearsal space and then went into the studio and recorded them, whereas, several of our albums were really more micromanaged, as, each bar of each song was more micromanaged. But to me, Book of Bad Decisions felt like more of our second album. Yeah. The Clutch self-titled album, just the whole vibe, the recording process, the writing process. To me, Book of Bad Decisions and our self-titled album are the most similar.
And did you find that more in creative terms, a bit freer? You felt, how can I put it in the best ways possible? Really, did you kind of just go, this is how it should feel?
Not really. I mean, we just take each song as it comes, and then we're totally filled with self-doubt the entire time.
Yeah.
So, I feel kind of like, I don't know, it was just really a different kind of recording process than, it was more of a 90s album.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it like that. Okay. It was more of a 90s recording and writing vibe.
And now we're going to talk about the future, or the present future, I should say. You recently made an announcement, or Neil did, on social media in a handwritten note.
Yes.
Which I thought was very smart and very fun.
Okay.
It was great. That you've recorded some new material with the title of the Weathermaker Vault series. Can you tell us a little bit about that? I know that there's a single out, Evil, which is a cover of the great Willie Dixon. But can you tell us a little bit more about what's coming up on that album?
I sure can. We covered the Cactus version of that Willie Dixon song.
Yeah.
And we recorded 2 more covers, and we re-recorded a couple older Clutch songs as well that have kind of, taken on more of a life of its own with a live version. As opposed to the studio version. Like a lot of our songs, the studio versions just kind of get left in the dust and we end up doing something different live. So we've re-recorded 2 songs and we recorded 3 covers, the first one being Evil. And at this point, we're planning on going into the studio in September and doing it all again. Doing some more covers and some more Clutch songs
So
as
it
well.
could be potentially a part 2 to this album, or do you think it's going to be completely different to this one?
I would not. Well, with the whole Weathermaker Vault series, we could do whatever we want. It's something that it's like you're talking about. It's artistically freeing.
Yeah.
We could just keep adding to it. We're going to have the Weathermaker Vault series, and anything could be added to it at any time.
There could be part 2, part 3, potentially.
Oh, there could be part 50.
Wow.
Yeah. It could go on forever, and it probably will.
And does this feel like it could be a different direction for the band in terms of the way you do things?
I would say it's probably more, cover strong heavy.
Yeah.
That's something we haven't really done too much. We've attempted to do a few covers in the past. We did a Jethro Tull song for a compilation. We recorded a Bad Brains song once. We attempted to record Money by Pink Floyd, and that actually ended up on the internet. It's on the internet, but we never really finished it. And so it's kind of, maybe we'll finish Money one day.
Maybe one day.
Yeah.
And speaking of bands like that, I mean, you've got bands like Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, and so on and so forth now. They're kind of getting towards the golden years of their career, as it were. From the bands that you see around and that you tour with, because obviously you did a tour last year with the Picture Books, which was a really interesting one. What sort of bands are you seeing that are coming up that you think maybe in the future greatness will be bestowed upon them perhaps?
I definitely love the Picture Books, and the other band we had on that tour as well is Inspector Clouseau.
Yeah, they were great.
Who I think is playing here tomorrow.
Yes, they are.
At like 11 in the morning. Honestly, I love both those bands. Those are my two current favorite bands. But really, they're not really too much in the category of heavier music, you know? It's kind of a different thing. As far as heavier bands go, who is my favorite current heavy band? I don't know. Let me think.
We'll come back to that.
Carcass, probably. I mean, Carcass is not a new band whatsoever, but I absolutely loved the last Carcass album, and I'm looking forward to hearing the newest Carcass album.
It should be very, very interesting. You're going to be appearing at the 3rd annual Earth Rocker Festival.
Yes, indeed.
That's coming up. Now, if you're not busy enough, you decide to throw together a festival. How did that come together? Because you've got all kinds of people playing there. You know, obviously you've got Killswitch Engage, which is the big name with you this year. But you also support local music around that area too. How important is that festival for you guys to keep together?
Well, I mean, it's definitely one of the coolest things we've done as a band. The owner of this property, Greg Shiley, the place is called Shiley Acres, and it is 8 miles from my house where I live in West Virginia. And as a member of Clutch, I have never played anywhere near where I lived. So now I'm playing a festival which is right down the street from my house. And this guy just approached us, and he kept approaching us. He has a 5,000 capacity venue basically in his yard with a stage built. And his main thing in the 80s was he did a lot of shows in the 80s. He stopped doing it for a long time and restarted, and he's letting us do our Earth Rocker Festival there.
And it's an incredible lineup, and you've got a couple of local guys playing there too.
Yeah, the local Let There Be Rock School always plays at that show. So Greg is great, the owner of the place. He's really awesome, and he is really the one that supports the local bands. He's got the local schools involved in all his shows that he does.
So it's a real investment, a local investment in the future of music.
It is. It really is. He's getting some pretty good shows there. He's got. He only does 2 or 3 shows a year. What is one of them? Papa Roach, Asking Alexandria is one of his shows. He always has Hell Yeah play there.
Yeah.
Hell Yeah's actually, I'm pretty sure Hell Yeah is playing there.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's completely awesome.
So,
In terms of when you guys go out and play stuff, there's an interesting thing I learned about you guys a couple of years back, is that you kind of take it in turns to pick the set list.
yeah, we got really bored getting together in the back lounge of the bus or sitting in the van and making the set list together. So we just decided to regulate it to one person a night.
It's a great idea. It keeps everything together. Now, who picked it for today?
Today was officially Dan's set list, but we practiced. We usually don't practice before a show, but we rehearsed before the show, and we kind of all made it together.
That's super. Tim, I'm going to say thank you so much for joining us at Metal One.
Cool, thank you.
It's been a pleasure speaking to you as always.
Cool, thank you. You're awesome.